I'm literally that meme right now. Alright, so today we are going to be trying out 7-Eleven's very own makeup line. I spent $75 on 7-Eleven makeup. Bro, you put the Cheetos under the makeup. Party foul. So as I walked through the glorious doors of 7-Eleven, I was kind of ecstatic because where else can you buy hot Cheetos, a bag of makeup, and boxed wine? Actually, I guess you could do that at every single drugstore. But 7-Eleven has Slurpees. You can't compete with Slurpees. So I know what my plans are tonight. So in the past couple weeks, 7-Eleven launched the cosmetics line. It's actually called Simply Me Beauty. I was hoping it would just have 7-Eleven on it, pure class. There are 40 products in the line, which is pretty large to launch with. So everything in the line is priced between $3 and $5. There's nothing over $4.99. So I got enough products to do a full face using 7-Eleven makeup. I was reading the press release on their website. Here's my favorite quote. For a millennial working woman wanting to refresh her makeup while grabbing lunch at 7-Eleven stores, Simply Me Beauty is a welcomed offering and is priced just right for her. They say millennial aged women like 50 times in this press release, so that's really who they're targeting here. I typically go to 7-Eleven for gas if it's the only thing around, or for taquitos. Listen, I've tried dollar makeup, I've tried Dollar Tree makeup, Boohoo makeup. There are some great makeup products that are very affordable. I don't care if something's $30 or if something's $1. If it's good, it's good. And usually in these videos, I do find at least one thing that I think is pretty good. So that's that. I'm excited for this video. If you're excited for this video too, don't forget to give this a thumbs up while you're watching. If you're new here, you can join the Bayrito family and subscribe. I upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. So let's do this. Here we go. All right, so I've already washed, moisturized, and primed my face. They didn't have a primer there. I did, however, get a sponge. I've tried so many sponges at this point that I can kind of spot the ones that are gonna be friggin' golf balls. As far as hardness goes, this one looks like it's gonna be a golf baller. But I like the packaging of this line. Everything is this black and gold kind of packaging, so I think it's nice and sleek. Oh yeah, it's a golf ball. This is actually pretty tiny, so let's see how big this thing gets when I go and dampen it. I'm back, and this thing is the same friggin' size. Might be like this much bigger. So I'm gonna try this one on half my face and then go in with my LA Girl sponge on the other. Obviously quite a bit bigger and much squishier. So they only carry BB creams. They didn't have a foundation. So I just got the BB cream in the shade Light. You do get 2 fluid ounces of product. That's a lot of product, 59 milliliters. To compare, in Lioeli BB cream, you get 50 milliliters. Smells like paint. Just to avoid the sponge soaking up as much as possible, I'm gonna go ahead and put some on my face first, and then let's try and blend it out with this thing. This is so tiny. Okay. Oh yeah. Feeling great. So that soaked up everything, like 98% of that product. So instead, on this side, I'm gonna try and do a brush, actually. It toned down my redness a tiny bit, but that's pretty much it. So I'm just using the Sigma F80 right now, and I'm just stippling this on. Definitely getting better coverage. I wore a turtleneck on purpose for this video because I had a feeling this would be too dark. Okay, it looks nice and glowy and skin-like. It kind of just looks like a, BB cream tinted moisturizer. It's not clinging anywhere. It looks really good, actually. Coverage is pretty light. Freckles and everything are still coming through. If the shade was right on me, I wouldn't mind this. It always looks lighter on camera, but in real life, it looks about 3 shades too dark right now, and it does look like it's darkening already. By the way, I haven't watched any videos on this yet. I know there are already a couple out there, but I purposely didn't want to watch, so I'd be surprised. It's very glowy, very glowy, so if you don't like dewy, you wouldn't like this at all. I did get a little bit better coverage, I feel like, with the brush. I'm gonna try and build this up a little bit, though. I don't think it's very buildable. Now that it's on my face, it does look borderline greasy. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty oily looking. I do have a translucent powder here, but first we're gonna go in with their high def concealer. So this is in the shade Light. I think in this one they had 3 shades. I'm gonna try and use this underneath my eyes, depending on what this color looks like, and then also to spot conceal a little bit. In the packaging, it looks darker than the foundation. It looks very, an odd concealer color. Not even yellow, it's like very camel tan, but we're gonna roll with it. So I'm gonna use my fingers first to kind of blend this out. It looks to be light coverage, again, very glowy. I'm gonna try just add a little bit of coverage, even though this is kind of light coverage. I get a little bit of a burning. Yep. That concealer, I would say, is light coverage, very luminous. You can still see darkness, freckles, and stuff coming through. So this powder says all shades. It's translucent, and it's a matte powder. Looks kind of like MAC packaging. Feels really soft. That is not translucent, folks. I'm actually gonna try, I think, and powder my under eyes with this. Doesn't really have a scent to it. Seems to be darkening my under eyes a bit. Shade aside, it doesn't look bad. It looks pretty smooth under there. It has a really soft feel to it. I'm gonna add just a touch of my Physicians Formula powder just so I can lighten everything up a bit because this is pretty dark. I feel like around my nose area, I look pretty oily, so I'm gonna take the same powder. Just press them in there. I typically really enjoy a dewy forehead. I don't know if I want a powder, but I also feel like this is very, very dewy looking. We're gonna sit on it. I'm gonna leave it like this for a minute. I actually want to use the same powder though, and I'm just gonna apply this right to my cheek area just so when I go to blend out bronzer and highlight and stuff, it doesn't stick because this is a very sticky product. It hasn't really set down at all. Okay, so let's get some brows going. Got this brow powder and wax in the shade Dark. They had a dark and a light one. There's a wax and then a powder. The powder, that looks pretty dark. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the wax first. This just helps the powder stick and also helps your brow hairs kind of stay in place. That looks like it has actually color to it. You could totally use that on its own as like a dip brow kind of thing. I'm gonna use the darker powder shade just I think on the outer half, kind of like the tail. That powder feels pretty pigmented. Yeah, that's a little swatch of it for an eyebrow product. That could be like an eyeshadow, but it totally works. I like it a little bit better without the black in there. So I'm very excited to try this bronzer. I have the shade Sun Glow. It says matte and shimmer bronzer. Uh-oh. Can you guys see that? I think I just got like a rash. I'm totally getting a weird rash right now. I've been getting eczema on my hands off and on from the Accutane, but my hand is kind of like burning right now. Onto bronzer. I think this lighter shade could work. So that other shade actually might be a really nice eyeshadow. Again, feels really soft. Seems to be getting a little bit splotchy and patchy. It could be the BB cream underneath, but again, I did powder right here, so it should blend easily on top. So I'm just gonna go over this side a bit with my sponge to kind of tone it down. So they had two different blushes, both were split pan again. So this is in the shade Rosé. Super soft again. The powders are very soft. I'm gonna go in with that middle orangey one right there. I just lightly tapped because I had a feeling this was gonna be pigmented. This one you kind of have to work with a little bit. Again, not the easiest to blend out, but the shade is nice once you get it blended out, and you literally need the tiniest amount. Like I super lightly tapped in. I like the shade. The shade is really pretty. Oh, have I had eyelash glue on this whole time? Cool. This is the Radiant highlighter. I'm really glad they did a powder highlighter. Wow, this one looks pretty yellow. It's showing up most true to color right there. That is how yellow it looks in real life. Very yellow, like not even a champagne or like a yellow gold. It looks pretty yellow. I'm actually gonna go in with this tangerine kind of shade right here. Ooh, that looks totally different on than it does in the pan. This is the orange one. Okay, that's really pretty. Not that I really need any more glow right now. That's pretty. Almost looks like the Hourglass Ambient Metallic Strobe lighting palette. Had to say the full name there apparently. Has the same kind of effect. If anything so far, get this. Don't know about this shade. Next up we have eyeshadow. They didn't have an eye primer there, so I'm just gonna use my usual eye primer. This is the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. For eyeshadow, they had 3 different kind of strip eyeshadow palettes in here. It looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shades. They had kind of like a warm one, they had a pinky purple one, and then they had this one which has some like blues. So there's what the shadows look like on the inside. I'm really drawn to this dark blue right now. Didn't really think through the whole blue and yellow shirt thing, but it might work. Ooh, that shade looks really pretty. Look at that one. To start out for the crease, I'm gonna go in with that same bronzer shade I used. Yeah, even as eyeshadow, it's looking pretty patchy. I got 3 different lip options, so I can kind of go either way, but I have a red lipstick that I kind of want to use. So I think if I did the red, that one would look nice. I'm actually gonna start out with the black to smoke it out first. I'm just gonna kind of pack this on like the outer third. This seems to be pretty powdery. It's kind of like jumping around. I'm just gonna go ahead and really lightly blend out these edges. This feels like one of those shades that is just gonna kind of really easily blend too far. So I'm just gonna like very, very lightly blend these edges. So now I'm gonna go with that really pretty looking shade. Almost looks like a mix of like army green and brown, and I'm very into army green right now. I'm gonna first just place it on my eye with a brush, and then I'll probably use my finger or wet it. Ooh. Just kind of blending it in, fading it into that black a little bit. Hard to just use your finger in here because of how close these are together. Oh, we definitely got a little more there. We need to do some blending. I'm gonna go back in with the bronzer, but now I'm gonna take this shade right here, and I'm just gonna blend the top edge of that. Super lightly, because I don't want it to get super muddy. Should I say super again? So the shadows, not the easiest to work with, but you can make them work. I think I literally blended for about 15-20 minutes. I'm gonna go back in with this warm shade, and I'm gonna line my lower lash line with this. And I'm just gonna blend that out. I might actually take this highlight again. Yeah, I'm gonna put that on the inner corner down here. Should we try the yellow one? Let's do it. So again, this one applied looks a lot lighter than it does in the pan, but it still has a yellow kind of greenish tint to it, not something that I would be able to pull off on my skin tone. It looks like a light lime green, but it's pretty on the inner corner. I didn't see a pencil liner, but I did see a liquid eyeliner. So we're gonna do this. Matte black packaging here, and it has a nice weight to it. This has a pretty large felt tip applicator. Not the blackest, and it looks a little bit crusty or something. I do have false lashes that I got there, so I don't know if I want to do a wing. I might just kind of do a smudge action. Just kind of angle it up, and then just go in with a liner brush, and I'm just gonna smudge with this brush. Nothing on here. Okay, not a fan of this eyeliner. The Wet n Wild Pro Line eyeliner is a few bucks, and it's great. So if you're looking for one that's around the same price point, go with that one instead. Got the Volume and Length Black Mascara. Oh, what mascara was this? That CoverGirl one? I used it in a Shadow and Schmooze. This has that weird spiky thing on the end. That's supposed to be for getting kind of the harder to reach lashes. Definitely quite a dry formula. Yeah, this feels really dry. This feels like when you need to toss out your mascara, but it's giving some length. Not bad. I just personally like a little bit more of a wet formula. So they had 2 pairs of false lashes. I got the full faux lashes. They had another one that looked kind of like the Ardell Demi Wispies. My lash glue keeps disappearing today. This happened earlier too. So I'm gonna go in with Bottom Lash Mascara, use that same one. And I do like those lashes, by the way. They feel nice and lightweight. A little bit itchy of a band. You know how sometimes a clear band is like a little bit pokey or something? I did trim each side, but I like how these look. All right, we are on to the final step here, which is lipstick. So I got 3 different lip products, and I kind of want to try them all. They had these lip crayons. They also had lip glosses and then lipsticks. So they had 3 different shades of the lip gloss. I think they had a purpley one, like a fuchsia, and then this light pink shade. And then I think they also had 3 of these shades. Lipsticks, they had at least 3. I feel like they might have had a couple more. So I think I want to put this on and then go over it with that gloss. So this is nice. It has a twist up right here. Oh, that's a pretty shade. Has a slight shine to it. Feels nice going on. Smells like a crayon. Actually smells exactly like a crayon. Feels really nice and comfortable. Doesn't feel like it's gonna slide all over and like transfer onto my teeth. Doesn't feel drying at all. Let's see this gloss. So this is in the shade Rosé. Ooh, thought I got a whiff. Smells like vanilla. Smooth, not too sticky at all. It feels like the ColourPop glosses actually. I like that combo too. Just added a little bit of pink to it. The applicator wand feels very cheap. It has that kind of like stiff Claire's kind of feel to it. Did a whole video testing out Claire's makeup. So that's what this combo looks like. I'm gonna take this off. Now let's go in with this lipstick. So it says it's a cream lipstick and this is in the shade Clementine. This packaging feels very cheap. I almost just cracked that in half squeezing it. But the shade looks promising. Ooh, I hope this is like neon. Oh yeah. So the color is beautiful. The shade of this is beautiful. The formula feels very moisturizing, but almost to the point where it's a little bit oily feeling. It feels like this is definitely gonna slide around, like this is gonna be off your lips and on your face. It almost feels like Vaseline or something, like it's almost too creamy. But I think between the two lipsticks, I would definitely go for this one. I just prefer the way this feels on my lips more. So this is the final look testing out 7-Eleven makeup. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to give this a thumbs up if you did. Let me know which thing you liked the best. I think I'm definitely most into the highlighter. I'm very pleasantly surprised. Got a little scared for a minute, but this is beautiful. Like, I would for sure use this again. I'll probably use it tomorrow. That's what I'm most into. I like the shade of the blush, but something about the blush and bronzer are really difficult to blend out, pretty patchy. Concealer and BB cream are passes for me. It looks too oily to me. It looks very, very greasy. Mascara I would pass on. Lashes, I like how they look. Just be aware if you're gonna get them that they do feel pretty cheapy, you know what I mean? Sponge is a hard pass, no pun intended. The brow product I like, just don't put it on your hand. I would definitely use the wax shade again, just on its own. I like that the wax has a little bit of a color to it. Eyeshadow, I like the lid shade. I like the overall look, how it turned out now, but I feel like I just really had to work with all the shadows. The eyeliner is a no for me. Like I said, get the Wet n Wild one. I think that's everything. Is that everything? Love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye. Now let's break out the good stuff. I literally look like this Cheetos bag right now. Forgot how hot these are. I've been out of practice.